A man who has served decades for a murder that he says he did not commit testified in court today in hopes of clearing his name.
James Pugh and Brian Lawrence were convicted of killing Deborah Mindel in Tonawanda back in 1993. News 4's Kayla Green was in the courtroom for Pugh's testimony today. Kayla?
Jackie and Don, this is the first time Pugh has testified. He didn't take the stand in the original trial in 1993. Now, he's maintained his innocence since the beginning and served more than 26 years in prison before being paroled in 2019. Today, he broke his silence.
In some ways, this is the most important day of Jimmy Pugh's life.
James Pugh maintains he never knew Deborah Mindel or her family, let alone killed her. During a 440 hearing today, he testified he was arrested for burglary a few months after Mindel was killed and said Brian Scott Lorenz implicated him to police for her murder. Pugh said he then made up statements to implicate Lorenz.
He was, a young man who foolishly went along with that the day of his arrest, but quickly came down to earth and stopped doing that.
Pugh also testified about offers made to him to implicate Mindel's husband in exchange for a shorter sentence.
At every turn, the DA gave him a chance to lie and reduce his sentencing exposure and get out of prison earlier, and at every turn he didn't do that. And the only reason he had not to do that is because he would have had to perjure himself in order to go along with what the DA was asking for.
Pugh's attorney wanted to play a clip from sentencing, the only time Pugh has spoken in court before today. The judge denied the request, but here's that clip from our archives.
I know nothing of this crime. I know nothing about the husband. I don't know this family, and I'm not a murderer. Whoever went to this house went there for one reason, that was to kill somebody. It's not a burglary gone bad, and they know it, because if it was, why would they be asking me if I would implicate the husband?
The day of his sentencing, they were going to give him 10 more years of his life back, but he had to implicate the husband. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it because it would have been false.
The defense is asking the judge to vacate the conviction based on improved DNA testing, which excludes any trace of Pugh or Lorenz at the murder scene. Defense attorneys also claim they have evidence that Richard Matt killed Mindel. Matt was shot to death by police in 2015 after escaping Clinton Correctional Facility, where he was being held for murder. Kayla Green, News 4.